This video did not exist for you until this very moment. It was a mere potential in an infinite field of information, waiting for your consciousness to observe it into being. Stop scrolling. This is not an accident. Like you, I was searching. I was experimenting with my reality, treating my consciousness like a testing ground. I cultivated 5 different inner worlds, 5 unique gardens of the mind. 4 of them produced inconsistent, slow, or frustrating results. But in the fifth garden, my intentions didn't just grow, they exploded into being with a speed and synchronicity that defied all logic. By the end of our time together, you will not only understand what this 5th garden is, but you will hold the key to cultivate it within yourself. You will understand that you're not just a gardener. You are the entire landscape. Have you ever felt like you were on the verge of a breakthrough, but something was holding you back? Tell me in the comments below. Before we walk through these 5 gardens, you must understand the ground upon which they are all built. This is what some call the quantum field. Think of it as an infinite, invisible ocean of pure potential. Everything you have ever wanted and everything you have never imagined exists within it as a wave of probability. It is unformed, silent, and waiting. It is the cosmic clay. Now, what gives it form? What collapses the infinite wave into a single, tangible particle of your experience? You do, your consciousness, and specifically, your observation. But here is the secret that has been misunderstood for ages. Observation is not a passive act of seeing with your eyes. It is an active, creative force. To observe is to choose. To place your focused awareness on a potential is to command the unformed energy of the field to become that reality. You are constantly and mostly unconsciously sculpting your world with every single thought, feeling, and belief you hold. The question is, are you sculpting a masterpiece or a prison? Let us enter the first experimental plot. I call it the barren garden of lack. Most of humanity spends their lives tilling this soil. The ground here is dry, cracked, and infertile because it is composed of thoughts of what is missing. You plant a seed of desire, a desire for abundance, but then you spend your days observing the emptiness in your bank account. You plant a seed of love, but you focus your powerful attention on your loneliness. This is the great paradox. You are using the creative force of observation to perpetually affirm the absence of your desire. In the language of the quantum field, your frequency is broadcasting lack, and the field, which only knows how to match your signal, faithfully returns more experiences of lack. The universe is not punishing you. It is simply a perfect mirror reflecting the state of your observation back to you. The plants here cannot grow because you are constantly looking at the empty space where they should be, thereby commanding that space to remain empty. The defining energy of this first garden is desperation. It is the frantic hope that something outside of you will come and save you, will fill the void you perceive. But the quantum field does not respond to your words or your wishes. It responds to your energetic signature, your state of being. Desperation is a powerful signal of absence. It screams to the universe, "I do not have this." And the universe responds, "You are correct. You do not have this." To escape this garden, you must shift your observation from the problem to the potential. You must be willing to stop staring at the barren ground and start feeling the rain that has not yet fallen. This is the first, most difficult step. To withdraw your attention from the reality you do not want. It feels counterintuitive. Your mind will tell you that you must focus on the problem to solve it. But in the quantum world, focusing on the problem only makes the problem bigger, stronger, and more real. This garden of lack is reinforced by your five senses. Your eyes see the bills piling up. Your ears hear the silence in your home. Your body feels the fatigue of a job you dislike. And so your logical mind concludes that this is reality. It tells you that your inner state is a result of your outer world. But the great secret is that the exact opposite is true. Your outer world is a crystallized reflection of your dominant inner state. The physical world is an echo, a lagging indicator of where your consciousness has been. To change the reflection, you cannot try to manipulate the mirror. You must change the object being reflected. You must change your internal observation. This means deliberately choosing to feel the feelings of security even when the bills are there. It means choosing to feel the warmth of companionship even when you are alone. It is the art of observing with your inner senses, not your outer ones. Leaving this barren garden requires a profound act of rebellion against your own programming. You must have the audacity to believe in the unseen more than the seen. Every time you catch yourself observing lack, you must consciously pivot. This isn't about denial or toxic positivity. It's not about pretending the bills don't exist. It's about acknowledging their presence as a past creation and then immediately withdrawing your creative energy from them. You shift your focus to the feeling of freedom, of relief, of gratitude for the abundance that is currently on its way to you, existing as a potent probability in the field. You are starving the weeds of lack by cutting off their energy supply, your attention. This is the first great work of the conscious creator, learning to direct your observation away from what is and toward what can be. It is the conscious choice to stop giving your power to a reality you did not consciously choose. Now let us walk into the second garden. This one is not barren, in fact, it is wildly overgrown. This is the overgrown garden of force. Many who leave the garden of lack stumble directly into this one. This is the garden of hustle, of struggle, of relentless grinding action. The mantra here is, I will make it happen. The energy is one of pushing, striving, and controlling. You plant your seed of intention, and then you try to force it to grow. You dig it up every day to see if it's sprouting. You overwater it with anxious effort. You try to control the weather, the sunlight, and the very process of life itself. There is certainly growth in this garden, but it is chaotic, tangled, and exhausting. You might achieve some of your goals, but they come at a great personal cost, burnout, stress, and a deep sense that you are fighting against the current of life. You are trying to do the work of the entire universe by yourself. The fundamental misunderstanding in the garden of force is the role of action. Action is necessary, but it is the final step in the creative process, not the first. In this garden, action comes from a place of fear and doubt. You act because you don't trust that the universe will deliver. You act to compensate for a perceived lack of inner power. This is uninspired action. It is heavy, difficult, and often leads to dead ends. You are rowing your boat with all your might, but you are rowing upstream. The quantum field responds to this energy of struggle by providing more things to struggle against. It presents obstacles and challenges that match your internal state of resistance. Life becomes a battle. You believe that success is supposed to be hard, and so the universe lovingly provides you with a hard path to success. The irony is that you are the one placing the boulders in your own path through your belief that they must be there. This garden is particularly seductive in our modern culture, which glorifies the grind and the hustle. We are taught that our value is tied to our productivity and our effort. To relax, to trust, to allow, is seen as lazy or irresponsible. But from a quantum perspective, forceful action is an inefficient and primitive way to create. It is like trying to build a house with only a hammer when you have a full suite of advanced power tools at your disposal. Your consciousness, your feeling state, your ability to align with the flow of the quantum field, these are your power tools. Forced action ignores all of them. It relies solely on brute physical effort. This is why so many hard-working people remain stuck. They are pouring immense energy into their reality, but it is the wrong kind of energy. It is an energy that says, "This is hard and I have to do it all alone." And the field responds as you wish. To escape the overgrown jungle of force, you must learn the art of surrender. This is not giving up. It is giving up the need to control. It is an acknowledgement that there is a greater intelligence at play, an organizing force within the quantum field that knows the fastest, most harmonious path to your desire. Your job is not to figure out the how. Your job is to be clear on the what and to hold the feeling of its fulfillment. Then you must listen. You must become sensitive to the subtle currents of the universe, to the intuitive nudges and synchronous opportunities that begin to appear when you stop pushing. This is the shift from forced action to inspired action. Inspired action feels light, effortless, and exciting. It feels like you are being pulled, not like you are pushing. It is the universe meeting you halfway. It is the path of least resistance, and it is infinitely more powerful. Let's move to the third plot. This one is pristine, orderly, and perfectly manicured. Every plant is labeled, every path is straight. This is the intellectual's garden of logic. This is the state of consciousness that tries to think its way to a new reality. The gardener here has a brilliant mind. They have read all the books, they understand the theories, and they have a detailed step-by-step plan for how their manifestation should unfold. They have calculated all the variables and accounted for all the possibilities. The problem is, the quantum field is not logical, it is magical. It operates on principles that defy the linear cause and effect thinking of the human intellect. By trying to plan and control every step, the intellectual gardener leaves no room for miracles. They leave no room for the unexpected synchronous events that are the hallmark of true creation. Their garden is sterile because it lacks the wild, unpredictable element of faith. The energy of this garden is one of limitation. The mind can only create based on what it already knows. It draws from the database of past experiences. Therefore, when you try to create a new future solely with your logical mind, you are destined to simply recreate a variation of your past. You cannot think your way into a reality that is beyond your current comprehension. A true quantum leap requires you to suspend your disbelief and step into the unknown. It requires you to trust that the field can orchestrate pathways that your mind cannot possibly conceive of. The intellectual gardener is afraid of the unknown. They find comfort in their plans and their charts. This need for certainty is a cage. It keeps their realities small, predictable, and devoid of the breathtaking creativity that the universe is capable of. They are trying to draw a map of a land that has not yet been formed. The tool of the intellectual gardener is analysis. They analyze their desires, analyze their fears, analyze their progress. This constant analysis creates a state of self-judgment and second-guessing. They plant a seed and then immediately begin to question if it was the right seed, if they planted it in the right way, at the right time. This mental chatter creates a chaotic and unstable signal that is sent out to the field. The universe receives a muddled blueprint and returns a muddled reality. Furthermore, the act of constant analysis keeps you in your head, disconnected from the most powerful tool of creation, your heart. Manifestation is not an intellectual exercise, it is an emotional, energetic one. The field responds to feeling to the language of vibration. The most brilliant plan in the world, if it is devoid of the corresponding feeling, is just a collection of empty thoughts. It has no creative power. To transcend the sterile garden of logic, you must be willing to become the fool. In the ancient tarot, the fool is the card of infinite potential, precisely because he steps off the cliff into the unknown with pure faith. You must be willing to let go of your need to know how. You must embrace uncertainty as the space where possibility is born. This means replacing analysis with awareness. Instead of analyzing your thoughts, you simply notice them. Instead of judging your feelings, you simply feel them. You shift your identity from the thinker to the observer. This creates a space of inner stillness. And in that stillness, you can finally hear the whispers of intuition. You can finally feel the subtle pull of the quantum field guiding you. You must have the courage to trust your heart's intelligence over your mind's logic. Your heart is your direct line to the field. Your mind is simply the radio receiver. You must tune the receiver to the right frequency. We now arrive at the fourth garden, and it is quite beautiful at first glance. It is filled with vibrant, colorful flowers, but they are all illusions. They are holograms. This is the daydreamer's garden of wishing. This is the state of consciousness that understands the power of imagination but fails to embody it. The gardener here spends their days visualizing their desires. They create magnificent vision boards and recite affirmations. They live in a beautiful future in their mind. The problem is they never truly bring that future into their present moment. There is a subtle but profound separation. They are wishing for their desire, which energetically implies that they do not have it now. They are observing their dream from a distance as something to be attained, rather than as a reality to be inhabited. They are a spectator to their own creation, not a participant. They are looking at the menu but never eating the meal. The missing ingredient in this garden is embodiment. The quantum field does not respond to pictures in your head. It responds to your vibrational state of being. You can visualize wealth all day long, but if your body is tense with the feeling of scarcity, your dominant signal is one of scarcity. Your body is the antenna, and its feelings are the broadcast. The daydreamer is often disconnected from their body. Their energy is all in their head. They are thinking about the feeling of abundance, but they are not generating the feeling of abundance within their own cells. This is the critical difference between intellectual visualization and true quantum creation. True creation is a full-body experience. It is feeling the reality of your desire so completely that your brain and body chemistry begin to change as if the event has already occurred. This is the signal that commands matter to rearrange itself. This garden is a form of spiritual bypassing. It is using pleasant fantasies to avoid the discomfort of the present reality. It's a temporary escape, but it does not change the fundamental energetic signature you are broadcasting. The law of attraction has been widely misunderstood because of this. People believe that if they just think positive thoughts, their life will change. But if those positive thoughts are a thin veneer over a deep-seated feeling of unworthiness or fear, the underlying feeling is what the universe will respond to every single time. Your subconscious emotional state is 95% of your creative output. Your conscious thoughts are only 5%. The daydreamer's garden is an attempt to create with only that 5%. It is like trying to sail a massive ship using only a tiny handheld fan. You must engage the powerful engine of your subconscious feeling body. The bridge from the garden of wishing to true creation is gratitude, but not gratitude for things you have. It is gratitude in advance for the reality that is on its way. It is the practice of feeling so thankful for your desire having been fulfilled that your body is flooded with the emotions of it being real. This is the master key. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. It signals to the field that your prayer has already been answered. This feeling, this embodied gratitude, is what turns a holographic flower into a real one. It collapses the wave of potential into physical experience. So the work is to move beyond just seeing your desire in your mind's eye. You must pull that reality into your heart. You must feel the warmth of the sun on your skin in your dream vacation now. You must feel the profound peace of financial security in your bones now. You must feel the loving embrace of your partner in your soul now. This is what it means to be a creator. And now we arrive at the fifth and final experiment. This is the one that changed everything. It is not barren, not overgrown, not sterile, and not an illusion. It is vibrantly, astonishingly alive. This is the quantum garden of flow. And the first secret to cultivating this garden is the nature of its soil. The soil is not made of thoughts, it is made of being. This is the practice of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It begins the moment you wake up. Before you check your phone, before you engage with the old reality, you ask yourself, who would I be if my desire were already true? How would that version of you walk, talk, and breathe? What would be the dominant feeling in their heart? Peace, joy, freedom? Your only work is to generate that feeling in your body, independent of any external evidence. You are no longer trying to get something. You are radiating the frequency of having it already. This enriches the soil of your reality with the magnetic resonance of your future. Once the soil of your being is fertile, you plant the seed of clear intention. Notice, it is not a complex blueprint, it is a simple, elegant seed. You distill your desire down to its essential feeling. You don't need to know the exact house, the exact person, or the exact job title. You focus on the essence. I am creating a life of joyful freedom, or I am attracting a relationship of deep, unconditional love. You hold this intention in your mind for a moment, feeling its resonance in your heart. You are not begging the universe for it. You are selecting it from the infinite menu of the quantum field. It is a calm, confident, sovereign choice. You are the observer, and this is the reality you are choosing to collapse from the wave of potential. You impress this choice upon the field with a single, focused moment of clarity. And then, and this is the most important part, you let it go. The next step is the most counterintuitive and the most powerful. You water the seed with detachment. This means you release all attachment to the outcome. You completely surrender the how and the when to the greater intelligence of the field. This is the ultimate act of trust. It is a profound declaration to the universe that you know your creation is done. You don't need to worry about it, stress over it, or micromanage it. Just as you don't dig up a seed to see if it's growing, you don't constantly check the external world for evidence of your manifestation. Your evidence is your inner feeling. If you can maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the growth is inevitable. This detachment is not indifference, it is absolute faith. This act of letting go creates a vacuum, a space for the universe to rush in with its magic, to orchestrate the people, events, and synchronicities that will bring your intention to life in ways you could never have imagined. Finally, you learn to harvest through inspired action. After you have set your intention and let it go, your role shifts from broadcaster to receiver. You become hyper-aware of the present moment. You look for the coincidences, the synchronicities, the intuitive nudges. An old friend calls out of the blue. You see a book title that seems to speak directly to you. You get a sudden urge to drive down a different street. This is the universe communicating with you. This is the field showing you the next step on the path of least resistance. Inspired action is not a struggle. It feels light, effortless, and exciting. It feels like the obvious next thing to do. Your only job is to act on these nudges without hesitation or analysis. This is you co-creating with the universe. You planted the seed, the universe is providing the sunlight and rain, and your inspired action is the act of harvesting the fruit. This is the dance of creation. This is the secret of the quantum garden. So you see, the experiment was never about gardening, it was about consciousness. The 5 gardens are not places you visit, they are states of being you inhabit. And the secret is this: you are not just the gardener tending to one of these plots, you are the entire quantum field pretending to be a gardener, just so you can experience the joy of watching yourself grow. Stop forcing, stop doubting, stop overthinking, step into the quantum garden. Embody the feeling of your desired reality, release your attachment to the outcome, and act on the signs the universe sends you. This is your true nature. Thank you for co-creating this experience with me. To fully anchor this shift in your reality, subscribe and turn on notifications. Then go to the comments and declare, "I am the garden and the gardener." Let this be your mantra. What is the first seed of intention you are planting in your quantum garden today? Share it below and let us witness your creation.